This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Yeah. Listen up, got a PSA when I come through, y'all just move. Got a whole lot of trauma I'ma tap into, no talk, just proof. Take one look at two, these eyes ain't no fear, fight for the few. Yeah, I apologize in advance for everything I came here to do. All or nothing when I black out, I'ma own it. I heard a lot of chatter, I came here to show it. Keep the place real wide when I'm zoning. Take the people on a journey, show you where I'm going. Straight to the top, all gas, no brakes, hit the floor. Coming real fast, outcast, informal, upside down to the normal. We ain't coming here to talk it out, no way. If we gon' do it, then it's lights out all day. And we ain't stopping now for nothing. Now we'll shut it down, let's run the town.
Following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh. I think we already know that. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today. Well, today is Friday the 13th. That's March 13th, which is a Friday, which is Freeform Friday. But we need this.
Happy Friday, the 13th.
It's spooky, folks. How are you going to handle the day, though?
It's Friday the 13th.
And of course, that begs the question a lot of people have, do you have any superstitions?
Sure. The fear of Friday dates back to biblical times. Jesus died on a Friday, and 13 has always been known as an unlucky number.
So, the number 13 doesn't bother you?
Only if it's a Friday, Phil.
Oh my God. It's Friday the 13th.
Okay, so there you go. It is Friday the 13th, but no need to be scared because it is Freeform Friday. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and we are definitely coming across that multiverse of ours known as Safety FM. And let's see, we are hanging out with these people.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Okay, so there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse because that's just kind of the way that we do our things. So how has the last 24 hours or so been for you? Hopefully good. That's always an important thing. So it is Freeform Friday, so I want you to make sure that you are aware with that. So what does that mean exactly? That means we're going to talk about all of the stuff that we did not talk about earlier this week. Got that? So all of the stuff we did not discuss earlier this week. So there you go. Do you want to get kind of caught up to where we're at right now? Because if you're good with that, with it being Freeform Friday. So let's do a couple of things. Number one, if you want to interact with the show, go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Once you get there, audio, video, and text messaging are the options of what needs to be done, and then that is where we go. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the stuff that we've already discussed this week. We call it the Week in Review.
A car slams into a synagogue in suburban Detroit. The driver shot.
Nobody was injured inside the facility, inside the synagogue. People were evacuated and sheltered in place outside. But the person responsible hasn't been named. We hope to get that in the next briefing. But according to the authorities, That person tried to ram the synagogue, in fact, did ram the synagogue, triggering some form of smoke or fire. It was security or some form of security that returned fire at the person in the vehicle, killing the person responsible.
The deadly shooting on campus at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Authorities are now investigating the shooting as a possible terror attack. Sources say the gunman walked into a classroom, asked if it was an ROTC class, and then opened fire. Authorities say the gunman has ties to ISIS.
And both the U.S. and Iran are indicating that they're preparing for this war to continue. Today, we got the very first public message that's attributed, at least, to Iran's newly named supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. He released a written statement, no video or audio, amid reports of him being severely injured in the strike that killed his father. He is warning in the written statement that U.S. bases in the region need to be shut down or they will be attacked. The written statement also warns that the key shipping route, the Strait of Hormuz, will remain closed as a tool of pressure.
According to Gas Buddy, the national average price for a gallon of regular gas is now up to $3.59 a gallon. This is a 62-cent jump from February 28th.
A new warning about how Iran may retaliate. In recent days, the FBI alerted police departments in California that Iran wants to launch attack drones against the West Coast.
A string of tornadoes touched down in at least 5 states, killing at least 2 people in Indiana. This one hit an area near Chicago last night. The storm also brought damaging hail. The twisters leveled homes in several communities.
Travis Kelce just announced that he's returning for a 14th season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor Swift heard and was like, hey, you know I'm rich, right? I could buy Kansas City if you want me to.
Okay, so that is the week in review, just in case. So we should be caught up now in regards of everything that we were kind of missing out on. So if you're good with this, I am good with this. We can get you directly to our friends at Feature Story News, who is ready to talk about what the hell's going on inside of the news stuff, because that's kind of what they do. Duh. So if you're ready for it, I'm ready for it. So let's get it rolling.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in Hong Kong, I'm Laura Westbrook. A U.S. military refueling plane has crashed in western Iraq. U.S. Central Command says the incident involved another aircraft but ruled out hostile or friendly fire. This comes as the U.S. has been increasing its aerial presence in West Asia for operations against Iran. Ollie Barrett tells us more from Erbil in Iraq.
American military sources suggesting that the other plane may well also have been a KC-135 refueling plane, and one military source describing this as an area of Iraq that is friendly airspace. We're told that rescue efforts are ongoing and that the second aircraft landed safely. American military sources suggesting that there were 6 crew members aboard the plane that came down. We await word on casualties or otherwise in this incident, but the Islamic Resistance in Iraq group, which is an umbrella group really of Iran-backed factions and militias in this country, says that it brought down the plane.
The White House has launched probes into some of its largest trading partners as it tries to revive Trump's tariffs. The Supreme Court struck down the president's so-called Liberation Day levies in a landmark decision last month. Tony Waterman reports from Washington.
2 probes have been launched, one against 16 countries, mostly in Asia, investigating unfair trade practices. The U.S. accuses countries like Singapore, Taiwan, and China of overcapacity that undermines U.S. domestic manufacturing, citing things like semiconductors and electric vehicles. The other probe will investigate a ban on importing goods produced from forced labor in more than 60 countries. Both probes are seen as a starting point to reviving Trump's tariff policy after the original one was struck down by the Supreme Court. Trump imposed a blanket 10% levy, which expires in July. Tony Waterman, Washington.
Airline fuel surcharges and flight cancellations are pushing up airfares for Pakistani travelers as jet fuel prices surge amid Middle East tensions. The crisis has sent shockwaves through global markets, with energy prices soaring following the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping route. Hira Mustafa has more.
Officials say air carriers have not officially raised base ticket prices but have introduced a fuel surcharge to offset rising aviation fuel costs. The surcharge ranges from $20 to $100 per leg on domestic and international flights. This comes after Pakistan recently increased fuel prices amid volatile global energy markets. Travel agents report that passengers are already feeling the impact, with ticket costs climbing and fewer flight options available. Hira Mustafa, Islamabad.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, Iran goes public with its threat to close the Strait of Hormuz. The warning came in a message on Thursday, purportedly from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, son of the old supreme leader who was killed nearly 2 weeks ago when the US and Israelis began their attacks on the country. But whoever authored the message read out on Iranian state television, it certainly indicated that the government is determined to do whatever it can to keep hold on power at the very moment when President Trump is indicating a desire to bring the war to an end. Talha Abdulrazak is an independent defense and strategic analyst specializing in Iranian affairs.
I mean, Iran has been threatening this for decades. Either you play ball or there's going to be global catastrophe. Clearly, it's not really a bluff. Iran fields artillery pieces that could actually saturate the area with fire. It's got missile capabilities that can, at standoff range with cruise missiles and ballistic missiles with anti-ship capabilities. It's obviously got its drones as well. Tankers moving through this area, they have to move while being spaced out, and they will often come within about 15 kilometers of the Iranian coast.
Which, of course, puts them and the oil they're carrying in extreme risk, one of many reasons why the price of oil will soar the longer the conflict continues, unless the US finds some way of keeping the strait open. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
The main news again. Mojtaba Khamenei is defiant in his first public statement as Supreme Leader of Iran. He's vowing to keep blocking the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Rescue efforts are underway in western Iraq after a US military refueling plane crashed. The military says the aircraft was not hit by hostile or friendly fire. Washington has authorized countries to temporarily buy sanctioned Russian oil as the US tries to stabilize energy markets. And that's the latest feature story news. Laura Westbrook reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice.
sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected.
Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
I don't know who needs to hear this.
I don't know who needs to hear this today.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now.
I don't know who needs to hear this.
Guys, it's finally Friday.
I needed to hear that.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, trying to be something, that is for sure. Entertainment might be part of the thing, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So like I say, on Freeform Friday, we decide to do a little bit of everything and cover a little bit of everything. So do you want to go into the world of the weird? Because if you're good with that, I'm good with it, and I'm ready to go, baby. So let's do it. Summer Robert, a 28-year-old from Scotland, has spent most of her life wondering why her body kept changing so dramatically. She noticed something unusual at the age of 8 when she had already been wearing C-cup bras. Doctor brushed it off for years as puberty and weight issues. Finally, at 25, she was diagnosed with macromastia, a rare condition that causes excessive breast growth. Today, Robert is 4'11" and wears, are you ready for this? An R cup. Have you even heard of an R cup? And it's just the last year alone, she has jumped up 11 cup sizes during a hormone that triggered a growth spurt. For years, she struggled with unwanted attention, school dress code issues, and constant discomfort. Simple things like finding clothes or doing physical activities are tough, and she often needs a back brace just to be able to walk around or do chores. Doctors told her that her breast reduction could help, but it's only temporary because the issue or the tissue would likely grow back. For now, she's learning to live with the condition, and she has leaned into body confidence by creating content on OnlyFans, because that's what we do, which she says helped her feel more comfortable in her own skin. So what do you think? When she says having a growth spurt, she means like a stock market during a tech boom is what it sounds like. And her bra size, it uses more letters than the alphabet. Take a listen to this.
The doctors don't know if they will stop growing. They can't say that they won't stop growing. They can't say that they will stop growing. No one really knows much about it.
But I'm just thinking, if they don't know and it does continue, I mean, this could just be debilitating for you. And is there anything they say they can do? I mean, can they reduce it and just keep doing it as it grows back, or what?
So they've said that they could if I go to America, they're not going to do it in the UK because they don't actually see it as like an extreme thing. But if I go to America, I spoke to an American breast reduction surgeon, and he said, yeah, I could totally get a reduction, I'd pay for it, whatever, but they're just going to come back.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, of course you're going to pay for it because that's part of the deal. I don't know. It's just weird. I have never heard of such a thing before. Is what it's definitely not what it sounds like. Never heard of that before. So it's very interesting as we are talking. Okay, so let's continue talking about some array of things because that's kind of what we do around here. So let's start talking right away. A TikToker or TikTok creator is going viral after finding what he says about $1,000 worth of grocery in a dumpster behind a grocery store. The video shows boxes that are of perfectly good food, lettuce, strawberry, cheese, butter, Lunchables, cookies, and more behind being loaded into the back of his truck. The creator who posts the information is Love in the Dumpster said nothing appeared to be wrong with the food and suspects that it may have been thrown away because of refrigerator issues. After keeping some of the haul, he left the rest on the porch of his neighbors to take. The video is part of a growing dumpster diving trend on social media where people search behind stores of discarded items and share the results online. Supporters say that it helps fight food waste and saves money at a time when Americans say groceries are too expensive. The trend highlights a bigger issue. The U.S. throws away about 120 billion pounds of food every year, roughly 30 to 40% of the entire food supply, with grocery stores alone discarding billions of pounds, often due to cosmetic standards, sell-by dates, or overstocking. So there you go, some stuff to think about as we are talking here. So what do you think here? Dumpster diving. But here's the thing. I would like to have a little better information of exactly what is going on there, because that might be a little bit more interesting to see, at least in my opinion. But who the hell knows exactly what is going on there. So take a listen to this. A German tourist sued a famous Los Tacos #1 for $100,000, claiming the restaurant salsa was dangerously spicy and caused stomach problems, tongue blisters, a racing pulse, and emotional distress during a 2024 trip to New York City. The tourist said that he added salsa to the restaurant's self-serve bar to his tacos and was shocked by how spicy it was, saying it wasn't used for spicy food back home in Germany. But the U.S. District Judge Dale Ho tossed the case, pointing that something most taco fans already know: salsa is supposed to be spicy. The judge said that the restaurant wasn't negligent and noted that there are no evidence where other customers were harmed. So, let's talk about it. A man sued a taco place for spicy salsa, which is like suing the ocean for being wet. He said that the salsa shocked him. Buddy, that's just called flavor. The judge basically ruled, sir, it's salsa. Imagine ordering tacos and expecting the salsa to taste like yogurt. The tourist said that he wasn't used to spicy food. The salsa said, welcome to America. He asked for $100,000, apparently for paint and jalapenos. Also, his Apple Watch showed a high pulse. Yeah, that's called meeting habanero. He wanted warning labels on the salsa. What's next? Caution, guacamole contains avocado. So just some stuff. I mean, just some interesting things as we are talking. Some weird times, that is for sure. Okay, take a listen to this one. A Michigan woman and her father survived a terrifying tornado by hiding under their kitchen table as the storm tore through their house. Michelle McGillis said that she spotted the tornado heading towards her dad's home in Union Lake in Union City, Michigan on March the 6th. Which only seconds to react. The two dove under the kitchen table just as the tornado hit. McGillis said that the powerful storm actually lifted her body into the air while they were hiding. and a tree crashed into the house as the structure was being ripped apart. She later said that she genuinely thought that she was going to die. After the tornado passed, she called 911. I almost said 911. And she and her father remained trapped beneath the table until the first responders arrived and pulled them from the rubble. The tornado was later given preliminary EF3 rating of the National Weather Service, which winds reaching about 160 miles per hour. Oh, just, a little nothing there. Yeah, crazy times there when you start thinking about it as we are talking. So there you go. What else do we got? So let's get out of the news of the weird for a moment. And do we want to talk about new trends?
Let's do it.
A nostalgic social trend is taking off and is giving fans the full blast of the 90s memories. The trend is called What Were You Like in the 90s? Features celebrities posting old photos of themselves from decades and short slideshows, video sets of song Iris. The post highlights their look, style, and career during the 1990s. A number of well-known stars have joined the trend, including Reba McEntire, Darius Rucker, Drew Barrymore, Brooke Shields, Kevin Bacon, and Joe Mantegna. Many of the posts show stars their heights of their fame during the decade. Several familiar TV faces also joined. They shared memory from their days of when they were on, different shows. Also, Kristen Davis reflected on her 90s era tied to Sex and the City. Another sweet moment came from the dancer Sharna Burgess, who posted a tribute slideshow for her husband, Brian Austin Green, who became famous on Beverly Hills 90210. Meanwhile, Tiffany Thiessen, let's call her Tiffany Amber Thiessen, or Kelly Kapowski, known for Saved by the Bell in Beverly Hills 90210, and Melissa Joan Hart, famous for Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Clarissa Explains It All, also joined the fun, sharing throwback photos and joking about the wild fashion of the decade. Fans have been loving the trend, filling in comment sections with praise and nostalgia as they revisit hairstyles, outfits, pop culture moments that defined the 90s. So here's my question to you. What were you like in the 90s if you were alive? What music did you listen to? And what were your clothes like? Maybe that's something to think about. So let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. You can also go to callinradio.com to let me know what exactly you are thinking. So let's get into some serious stuff, because that's what we do right here. So take a listen to this. A long-running NASA spacecraft has finally made its return to Earth. Van Allen Probe A fell back to the planet after more than 14 years in orbit, crashing into the Pacific Ocean near the Galapagos Island. The reentry happened at 6:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time yesterday morning, about 680 miles from Puerto Vallarta. The satellite weighed about 1,300 pounds. NASA's expected most of it to burn in the atmosphere, though some pieces have survived and reached the ocean because the splashdown occurred in a remote stretch of the ocean. Officials said that the chances of anyone being harmed were extremely small. Previously estimated about 1 in 4,200, so better odds than winning the lottery. Is exactly what was happening. So there you go. Okay, so we talked about this news story a few days ago, but we didn't have the final of what is exactly going to occur. But I think we have it now. Former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy says that his long run on the NBC's NFL pregame show is coming to an end. Dungy confirmed on social media that NBC informed him that he will not return this fall to the network's pregame program Football Night in America, where he has been since 2009. He called the decision disappointing, but thanked his NBC colleagues and said that the 17 years on the show created lasting memories, especially his friendship with fellow analyst Rodney Harrison. Dungy joined NBC shortly after retiring from coaching. During the NFL career, he led the Indianapolis Colts to victory in Super Bowl, whatever number it was, and became the first black head coach to win a Super Bowl. Before that, he spent 6 years for 6 seasons leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dungy said that he isn't sure what comes next, whether it's more football broadcasting or focusing on church and community work, but said that he believes that God has plans and that for his next chapter of his life. So we will see what exactly happens next. Take a listen to this one. Should we play the clip first? Yeah, let's not do that. Former NFL star Rob Gronkowski is the latest football player responding to challenge from the internet personality and boxer Logan Paul. Should we say professional wrestler at this point, because he's more known for professional wrestling? Paul recently stirred up claiming that no NFL player could beat him in a boxing match, even offering $1 million to a player willing to step up. He also mocked Gronkowski specifically, saying that he had already beaten up Gronkowski's brother in sparring, and Gronk himself never stepped into the fight. Gronkowski fired back during an appearance on the K. Adams, saying that Paul could find him at Tom Brady's upcoming Fanatic flag football event on March 21st in Los Angeles. Gronk joked that Paul wants a piece of him. They can settle it right there on the field, adding that he's not afraid to throw down. The trash talk comes after Paul repeatedly challenged professional athletes to fight, though some potential matchups haven't happened because of the contractual reactions tied to his involvement with WWE. Now, let's just talk about this for a moment, because Gronkowski was tied to WWE at one moment. So are we leading to WrestleMania is what it sounds like. Take a listen to this.
But if Logan Paul wants a piece of me, we're both playing in the flag football game on March 21st in LA. And I can tell you this, okay? Yeah. The last time, players talk trash to me on a football field, I threw someone out of the club. I broke necks. I laid out defensive ends. I pummeled safeties. No one can tackle me. So if Logan Paul wants a piece of me, I'm down to throw it down on the field and even throw, my fist and just go at it, all out brawl on the flag football field. I don't care it's flag football and it's a family event. I will fight him on the field if he wants to fight me right there and then in the flag football game.
You want to fight him? You want a piece of Logan Paul?
Oh, no problem. If he wants to talk garbage, if he wants some of this, I'll see him on the field, because I can tell you this, I know he's not on my team either. So if he wants to throw hands, hey, I'm down for it. Let's go.
Something tells me that Gronkowski's girlfriend Camille could probably tackle him if she wanted to. Just throwing that out there, just for the sake of saying it. I know that he just said that nobody can tackle him. I'm pretty sure she can get the job done. Anyways, so let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world, because that is what we do. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is bringing some cage fighting muscle into the training program. Director Kash Patel announced that the FBI agents will take part of a 2-day training seminar with fighters from the Ultimate Fighting Championship, just for other people, UFC, at the FBI Academy in Guanaco in Virginia on March the 15th and the 16th. The event will give agents a look at how the UFC fighters train, along with the lessons of fighting techniques and tactics. Several stars are expected to take part, including Justin Gaethje, George Masvidal, and Chris Weidman. Why would George Masvidal and Chris Weidman be there? They're not even active fighters in that promotion. Okay, anyways, UFC President Dana White said that he's proud to help the Bureau strengthen their defensive training. Agents will train with UFC fighters, so no interrogation might end up with a tap out. The FBI says that it will improve the defense technique. Translation, somebody's getting put into a headlock during a training. Dana White says that he's proud to help because nothing says law enforcement like a flying knee. The next FBI fitness test includes bench press, a mile run, and surviving 3 minutes in the octagon. Agents are learning UFC moves, so the phrase "you're going down" becomes literal, and FBI agents training the UFC fighters because sometimes handcuffs just feel too polite. So there you go. Some things to think about as we are talking. What else do we have here? Okay, so let's do this. It is 32 minutes past the top of the hour. We would normally be doing our main story, but it's Freeform Friday, so let's continue.
Here is the news on the Radio R Safety Show.
Story news in Hong Kong, I'm Laura Westbrook. A US military refueling plane has crashed in western Iraq. US Central Command says the incident involved another aircraft but ruled out hostile or friendly fire. This comes as the US has been increasing its aerial presence in West Asia for operations against Iran. Ollie Barrett tells us more from Erbil in Iraq.
American military sources suggesting that the other plane may well also have been a KC-135 refueling plane, and one military source describing this as an area of Iraq that is friendly airspace. We're told that rescue efforts are ongoing and that the second aircraft landed safely. American military sources suggesting that there were 6 crew members aboard the plane that came down. We await word on casualties or otherwise in this incident, but the Islamic Resistance in Iraq group, which is an umbrella group really of Iran-backed factions and militias in this country, says that it brought down the plane.
The White House has launched probes into some of its largest trading partners as it tries to revive Trump's tariffs. The Supreme Court struck down the president's so-called Liberation Day levies in a landmark decision last month. Tony Waterman reports from Washington.
2 probes have been launched, one against 16 countries, mostly in Asia, investigating unfair trade practices. The U.S. accuses countries like Singapore, Taiwan, and China of overcapacity that undermines U.S. domestic manufacturing, citing things like semiconductors and electric vehicles. The other probe will investigate a ban on importing goods produced from forced labor in more than 60 countries. Both probes are seen as a starting point to reviving Trump's tariff policy after the original one was struck down by the Supreme Court. Trump imposed a blanket 10% levy, which expires in July. Tony Waterman, Washington.
Airline fuel surcharges and flight cancellations are pushing up airfares for Pakistani travellers as jet fuel prices surge amid Middle East tensions. The crisis has sent shockwaves through global markets, with energy prices soaring following the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping route. Hira Mustafa has more.
Officials say air carriers have not officially raised base ticket prices but have introduced a fuel surcharge to offset rising aviation fuel costs. The surcharge ranges from $20 to $100 per leg on domestic and international flights. This comes after Pakistan recently increased fuel prices amid volatile global energy markets. Travel agents report that passengers are already feeling the impact, with ticket costs climbing and fewer flight options available. Hira Mustafa, Islamabad.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, Iran goes public with its threat to close the Strait of Hormuz. The warning came in a message on Thursday, purportedly from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, son of the old supreme leader who was killed nearly 2 weeks ago when the US and Israelis began their attacks on the country. But whoever authored the message, read out on Iranian state television, it certainly indicated that the government is determined to do whatever it can to keep hold on power at the very moment when President Trump is indicating a desire to bring the war to an end. Talha Abdulrazak is an independent defense and strategic analyst specializing in Iranian affairs.
I mean, Iran has been threatening this for decades. Either you play ball or there's going to be global catastrophe. Clearly, it's not really a bluff. Iran fields artillery pieces that could actually saturate the area with fire. It's got missile capabilities that can, at standoff range with cruise missiles and ballistic missiles with anti-ship capabilities. It's obviously got its drones as well. Tankers moving through this area, they have to move while being spaced out, and they will often come within about 15 kilometers of the Iranian coast.
Which, of course, puts them and the oil they're carrying in extreme risk, one of many reasons why the price of oil will soar the longer the conflict continues, unless the US finds some way of keeping the strait open. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
The main news again. Mojtaba Khamenei is defiant in his first public statement as supreme leader of Iran. He's vowing to keep blocking the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Rescue efforts are underway in western Iraq after a US military refueling plane crashed. The military says the aircraft was not hit by hostile or friendly fire. Washington has authorized countries to temporarily buy sanctioned Russian oil as the US tries to stabilize energy markets. And that's the latest feature story news. Laura Westbrook reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home title locks put a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's rula.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's rula.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Radio Big.
USA, Canada, UK.
Keep the place real wide when I'm zoning. Take the people on a journey, show you where I'm going. Straight to the top. All gas, no brakes, hit the floor. Coming real fast. Outcast, informal, upside down to the normal. We ain't coming here to talk it out. No way. If we gon' do it, then it's lights out. All day, and we ain't stopping now for nothing. Now we'll shut it down. Let's run the town. You know we bring them out. We go all out. We run it now. Let's go. Hands up now. Here we go. Celebrate, enjoy the show. Hands up now. Here we go. No stop until we get the goal. We run a different route, yeah. We ain't gon' tap out, yeah. So hands up now. Here we go. Yeah. No stop until we get the goal. When it bleeds in my DNA, this is who I am, so cool. Confident, so it ain't no thing where the mountains at. I'ma press through. Taking my goals, I'ma reach new heights. I'ma do all I came to do.
Okay, here we are hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show, doing all the fun stuff we get to do, no doubt about that. This right here that you're taking a listen to, this is Saint Society. Here we go. Songs readily available on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Pandora. So there you go. A lot of stuff always going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's just kind of how it works out.
No stopping till we get the go.
No stopping until we get the go, that's for sure. Okay, so let's continue talking. Doing all the fun stuff.
When it bleeds in my
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Thank you to Saint Society for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you'll see all kinds of information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. Once you get there, I'm going to tell you, just take a look around, see the information that's there. It could change the way that you look at certain things. No doubt about that. That's TWLOHA.com to write love on her arm. So here you go. We are a few days away of having this going on in person in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is the Conklin Conference taking place in Hotel Santa Fe, March 31st through April the 1st. Going on with Todd Conklin. This is Conklin Workshop. Brent Sutton will be there. Ann Liren and Redonda Voigt will be doing an incident investigation and how to take a look at what needs to be done if you have an incident that occurs at your job site and how to look at it through the lens of HOP. If you wanted more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. Or if not, you can just scan the QR code that's on the screen. That's happening March the 31st through April the 1st. Would love to see you there. If you're looking more for a summer destination type of thing, well, we got something going on July the 13th happening in Orlando. Yes, that's
Orlando.
We'd love to see you there. We're having something called Reality Ship. It's a symposium taking place with Nick Weatherly, Todd Conklin, and yours truly. We'll be having a discussion about behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, and talking about Signal Trilogy all at the same time. Would love to see you there, taking place on Monday, July the 13th. One day only, of course. Here's a QR code right there on the screen that you can scan to get more information. If not, you can go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. Now, here's the interesting part about the whole thing, if you don't mind, of course. Once you get there, the information about both events will be located. And then the event on July the 13th will not be at a hotel. It will actually be at a movie theater. Yeah, do it a little bit different this time. So that's some opciones for you if you're kind of interested in doing some of that. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Okay, so I have John Small waiting in the wing, wanting to talk about what the hell is going on with the Motivation Minute. So if you're good with it, I'm good with it, and we'll have him rolling and bowling here and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by David. Oprah Winfrey said, "I know for sure what we dwell on is what we become." I agree. If you focus on the things you can't do, you're going to get really good at not doing those things. But if you focus on the things you can do and maybe even practice doing the things better, you're going to get really good at doing those things and maybe even grow into a more well-rounded person by adding in the things that you really want to do better. I tend to focus on the things I like doing. I spend less time on the things I don't like doing because many years ago I read a book by Jim Collins called Good to Great. In that book he talked about having a to-do list but also having a stop doing list. I took that concept to heart. I quit thinking about some things entirely. I let my wife do those things and I do my things. We both have areas that we're just better at doing. The Motivation Minute. This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Iran ramps up attacks on ships near the Strait of Hormuz amid escalating tensions with U.S. forces.
The U.S. destroyed 16 Iranian mine-laying vessels in the area on Wednesday. Tehran warns banks could be next targets after strikes on Dubai airport. Officials say commercial shipping faces growing risks from these disruptions. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Countries agreed to release massive emergency oil reserves as global prices surge from conflict fallout.
The International Energy Agency plans to tap 400 million barrels, the largest such move ever. Analysts expect short-term relief at pumps worldwide. This comes as Iran threatens more disruptions in key shipping lanes. Gary Beck reporting.
World War II bomb weighing 550 pounds defused in Germany after huge evacuation on Wednesday.
Emergency teams cleared 18,000 people from the area, marking the city's biggest such operation. Experts safely removed the device without incident. Thousands returned home relieved after hours in shelters. Chris Anderson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Dozens of U.S. service members suffer serious injuries from Iranian drone strike in Kuwait.
About 30 troops remain hospitalized with burns, brain trauma, and shrapnel wounds on Wednesday. The attack hit a base where forces were stationed. Pentagon sources confirmed the toll from overnight strikes. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Jeffrey Epstein's longtime accountant testifies before House Oversight Committee on his ties.
Richard Kahn managed the financier's money and investments in final years. Lawmakers probe his role amid ongoing files review. Testimony sheds light on Epstein's operations under scrutiny. Sharon Kender reporting.
Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz plans move to Florida amid Washington millionaire tax talks.
He and his wife cite a proposed 10% levy on earnings over $1 million as factor. Local lawmakers weigh the plan to address wealth gaps. Schultz built his fortune leading the coffee giant for decades. Kyle Norris reporting.
Illinois sheriff details deadly tornado damage ripping through Midwest on Tuesday.
Storms left destruction in Kankakee County, with lives lost and homes wrecked. Officials assess widespread impacts from high winds. Recovery teams aid affected families in hard-hit zones. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Global entry program restarts at airports after travelers faced long lines from DHS issues.
Officers reassigned during a brief shutdown now handle trusted travelers again. The pause stemmed from processing backlogs nationwide. Flyers express relief as normal operations resume swiftly. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Oh, there's nothing like infiltration, and Radio Big is definitely what it sounds like as we are talking and hanging out, no doubt there. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date, because that's kind of what we do. 1960, NFL Chicago Cardinals moved to St. Louis. In 1961, JFK sets up the Alliance for Progress. And let's see, 1991, Exxon pays $1 billion in fine for cleanup in the Valdez oil spill. And also, let's see, in 1994, Cuba Gooding Jr. wed Sarah Caper. So there you go. If you're looking at some birthdays that are going on today, let's talk about those, because that's what we do. William H. Macy turns 76. Common, the rapper / actor, turns 54. Danny Masterson turns 50 today. And Emily Hirsch turns 41. If you're looking at some things that you ought to know, let's talk about that. Tesla is already moving past the buzz and disappointment around the Tesla Cybertruck and focusing on the gamble of the Cybercab. The new vehicle is designed to run completely on Tesla's full self-driving software, meaning that it won't even have a steering wheel or pedals. Early units are now rolling off of the line in the Tesla Austin factory, with mass production expected to take place in April. No steering wheel, no pedals. So basically, it's the first car designed for people who already drive like they don't use it either. So there you go. The Cybercab is perfect for people who love roads, but hate a whole driving part. So there you go. So take a listen to this one as well. A U.S. Air Force refueling plane went down in West Iraq during an ongoing U.S.-Israel military operation against Iran. The aircraft was part of Operation Epic Fury, but the military says that the crash was not caused by enemy fire or friendly fire. According to the United States Central Command, 2 aircrafts were involved in the incident. 1 plane crashed, and it is considered a total loss. While the second aircraft landed safely, a U.S. official said that both planes involved were Boeing's KC-135 tanker aircrafts. The crash happened in the friendly airspace, and the rescue efforts are underway at the military that works to locate to assist the crew. A typical KC-135 tanker carries about a 3-person crew. Just a little FYI there in case you did not know that. So, reminder also, Tuesday, March the 17th is St. Patrick's Day, in case you did not know that. Also, the Pennzoil 400 NASCAR race airs on Sunday at 4 p.m. on FS1. Also, that's from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tonight's Mega Million jackpot is for $50 million, and tomorrow's Powerball is for $75 million. So there you go. You got a lot of stuff going on right there. That is for sure. Anyways, let's talk about this. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If you don't want to go over there, that's perfectly fine. You can hang out here with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. If I can leave you with some words of wisdom for today, I would love to leave you with this. If it's not yours, don't take it. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. If you don't know, be quiet. So there you go. Some things to think about there. And then if I can give you some words of advice, bleach a pastry board or a rolling pin with an occasional rubbing of fresh lemon. Some things to think about there as we are talking. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
Confident, so it ain't no thing where the mountains at. I'ma press through. Checking my goals, I'ma reach new heights. I'ma do all I came to do. Yeah. Build a whole empire on top. Looking down, I'm looking at you. What you gon' do? Come and show me. I'ma let all this pain just mold me. With big dreams, none of y'all know me. What you talk about acting so phony? So relentless and I don't miss. Really opposition, I'ma focus. Coming for it all, put them on notice. Till the curtains close, I'ma own this. Don't stop until we get it. Hands up now, here we go. Hands up now, here we go.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.